Learn mathematics in easy ways. Tayo ngayon ay sa quarter 3 ng Statistics and Probability for the grade 11. Ang topic natin ngayon ay tungkol sa discrete probability distribution. Ako nga po pala, si Maestro Benj. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button for notification. Bago tayo magtungo sa ating discussion, magkakaroon po tayo ng tatlong objectives. Number 1 is to illustrate the probability distribution random variables and its properties. Number 2, compute probabilities corresponding to a given discrete random variable and construct the probability of a discrete random variable. Ano nga ba ang discrete probability distribution? A discrete probability distribution is consist of the values a random variable can assume and the corresponding probabilities. Later on, malalaman talaga natin sa pamamagitan ng mga examples ang ibig sabihin ng discrete probability distribution. Merong two properties ang discrete probability distribution. Unang-una dyan is the sum of all probabilities should be equal to 1 or the P of X is equal to 1. Number 2, the probability should be in the middle or confined between 0 and 1. Ibig sabihin, yung P of X daw dapat hindi siya magiging negative at bababa kay 0 at hindi rin naman siya dapat tumaas kay 1. Hindi siya pwedeng maging 1.1 pataas. Let's have example number 1. Okay? Let's have the example. So we have here the sample space, which is the 0, 1, and 2, which is focuses on sa number of heads. Ngayon, probability natin or the P of X is 1 over 6, 3 over 6, and 2 over 6. Now, tingnan natin kung ito ay valid discrete probability distribution. Let us take property number 1. The sum of all probabilities should be equal to 1 or the P of X is equal to 1. So, tingnan natin yung numerator ng probability na to. 1 plus 3, that is 4, plus 2, that is 6. So, 6 over 6, that is 1. Diba? Kung ang numerator mo at denominator ay magkatulad, that is equal to 1. Halimbawa, 2 over 2 or 2 divided by 2, that is 1. So, again, the sum of all probabilities should be equal to 1. So, 1 plus 3 plus 2, that is 6, over 6, that is equal to 1. Next, ang ating second property, probabilities should be in the middle or confined between 0 and 1. Ibig sabihin si P of X ay hindi dapat maging negative o kaya lumampas sa 1.1 kasi ang negative ay mababa kay 0 at ang 1.1 ay mataas kay 1. So, dapat in the middle siya ni 0 at 1. So, sa unang probability, 1 over 6, this is definitely a positive. This is also a positive. This is also a positive. 1.6, 1 divided by 6 or 1 over 6 is definitely less than kay 1. 3 over 6, that is less than kay 1. 2 over 6, that is less than kay 1. So, lahat sila ay positive at less than kay 1. So, this is a valid discrete probability distribution dahil nasunod niya yung pangalawang property. Ulitin ko po sa pangalawang property, dapat yung probability raw na P of X, yung bawat isa sa kanila ay hindi negative at hindi rin lalampas kay 1.1 pataas or hindi lalampas kay 1 pataas. Dapat between siya kay 0 at 1 lang. Let's have example number 1. If 3 coins were tossed, the possible outcomes are head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, or tail, tail, tail. If X is the random variable for the number of tails, make a discrete probability distribution. So, ito yung naging table niya. Sa unang row, meron tayong possible outcomes. Sa pangalawa, meron tayong value of the random variable X, which is the number of tails. So, sa unang column natin, we have the possible outcomes of head, head, head. So, wala. wala tayong nakitang tail dito, kaya 0. Dito, isa. Dito naman ay isa. Dito ay dalawa. So, dito ay isa. Dito ay dalawa na tails. Dito ay dalawa rin. At dito ay tatlo. Now, let us categorize. Tingnan natin kung ilan daw ang possible outcomes na walang tail. So, kung makikita nyo rito, meron tayong isang possible outcomes na walang tail. So, that is 1. 1/8. Ano nga ba itong 1/8? Ito po yung random variable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8. So, meron tayong isa na wala talagang tail. Ito po siya, yung grupo ng possible outcomes. Punta naman tayo sa one tail. So, meron tayong meron tayong possible outcomes na may tagi-isang tail. So, 1, 2, 3. So, tatlong grupo ng possible outcomes may tagi-isang tail. So, paano natin siya isusulat? That is 3/8. So, meron daw tatlong possible outcomes na may tagi-isang tail. So, 1, 2, 3. So, 3. Tapos, etong 8, yung random variable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 3/8. Tingnan naman natin kung ilan ang possible outcomes na may two tails. So, 1, 2, 3. Tatlong possible outcomes ang merong tagdadalawang tail. Ito po siya. So, ang mangyari dyan, 3/8 pa rin. Kasi 1, 2, 3. So, tatlo ang may possible outcomes na may tagdadalawang tail. 1, 2, 3. Tapos, etong 8 na to, ulitin ko po, ito ang random variable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tingnan natin, yung kapag ang tatlong tails naman, ilan daw na possible outcomes. So, kung makikita natin sa dulo, nag-iisa lamang siya na may possible outcomes na tatlong tail kapag nag-toss tayo ng coins. So, ibig sabihin, that is 1/8. Now, let's have the discrete probability distribution. Tingnan natin kung valid siya. Ano nga ba yung unang property ng discrete probability distribution? Dapat ang P of X daw natin is equal to 1. So, 1 plus 3, that is 4. Plus 3, that is 7. And plus 1, that is 8. So, kapag inad mo lahat itong apat na to, that is equal to 8/8. That is 1. Or 8 divided by 8, that is 1. Ulitin ko po. 1 plus 3, that is 4. Plus 3, that is 7. Plus 1, that is 8. So, ibig sabihin, 8/8, nasunod niya yung property number 1, property ng discrete probability distribution. Tingnan naman natin yung second property. Ang second property, dapat daw ang P of X natin ay hindi negative or mas lower kay 0 at hindi rin dapat mas higher kay 1.1. Definitely, kung makikita nyo ang ating P of X, lahat sila ay positive. So, doon po tayo pumasok. Pangalawa, ang bawat probability or P of X ay hindi lumampas kay 1. So, nasunod niya yung pangalawang property. So, this is a valid discrete probability distribution. Example number 2. Construct a probability distribution for rolling a die with odd number outcomes facing up. Let X be the random variable. Make a discrete probability distribution. So, ibig sabihin tayo naman ay magro-roll ng die ngayon na kung saan, ang alam naman natin, ang isang die ay may 6 na mukha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, ang tinatanong rito, ilan o papaano ang gagawin nating discrete probability distribution tungkol dun sa mga odd number outcomes lang na facing up. Ibig sabihin, yung pinakaibabaw, kapag nag-roll tayo ng die, yung pinakaibabaw ng die ang makikita natin. Pero ilang probability distribution or discrete probability distribution ang pwede nating makita sa pinakaibabaw na mukha ng die. So definitely, ang mga odd number outcomes lang naman dyan ay 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5. Yun lang naman yung mga odd number outcomes. So ang sample space niya ay 1, 3, and 5. So ibig sabihin, each outcome of odd number, nagdalawa po tayo ng outcome. So each outcome of odd number facing up if rolling a die has a probability of 1/3 or 1/3. Siyempre, kapag tayo ay nag-roll ng die, isang beses lang naman ang probability na pwede nating makita facing up yung 1. Pwede rin namang isang beses lang na makita natin yung 3. Pwede rin isang beses lang na makita natin yung 5. So, ibig sabihin, ang ating probability ay 1/3, having the odd number outcomes facing up. So, paano natin gagawin ang ating discrete probability distribution? So, lahat sila ay 1/3. Dahil, isa lang naman po, isang beses lamang ang probability na lumabas si 1. Okay? Sa die na yon, or 3 or 5, dun sa pinakaibabaw ng mukha ng die. So, ibig sabihin, tingnan natin kung ito ay valid discrete probability distribution. Ano nga bang property number 1? Dapat daw ang P of X natin, ito po siya, ang P of X natin is equal to 1. 1 plus 1, that is 2, plus 1, that is 3. So, 3/3, that is equal to 1. So, nasunod niya ang property number 1. Next, dapat daw ang P of X natin ay hindi bababa or magiging negative at hindi rin naman tataas kay 1. 1.1 pataas. So, ang 1/3, this is specifically 0.333. So, definitely lahat sila ay positive, wala namang negative, wala namang mas mababa kay 0, at hindi rin naman lumampas kay 1. So, nasunod nila ang pangalawang property ng discrete probability distribution. Example number 3. Write all the possible values of random variable if X is the scores of a student in a 10-item quiz. Make a discrete probability distribution. So, dito naman naalamin natin ang score ng isang estudyante kung anong pwede niyang makuha sa 10-item quiz. Gagawa natin siya ng discrete probability distribution. So, ibig sabihin, ang pwedeng makuha ng bata sa 10-item quiz ay pwedeng 1, pwedeng 2, pwedeng 3, or even 10. So, ibig sabihin, isa rito ang pwede niyang makuwang score sa 10-item quiz, or pwede rin naman 0. Pero nag-start na tayo sa 1. So, possible, kapag hindi siya nag-review, pwede siya makakuha ng 1, or 2, or 3. Or kapag nag-review naman siya, pwede siya makakuha ng 7 hanggang 10, kahit ma-perfect niya. So, ibig sabihin, isa rito ang pwedeng maging score ng isang estudyante sa 10-item quiz. A student can get a score from 1 to 10 that has a probability of 1/10. Siyempre, isa lang, sa 10-item quiz na to, hindi pwedeng dalawa ang maging score niya dyan. Siyempre, isa lang. So, sa bawat score, isang beses mo lang siya pwedeng makuha. Tapos, ito yung 10-item quiz. So, anong discrete probability distribution niya? So, ito po ang pwedeng possible na makuwang score ng student. 1, pwede rin na maging 2, o kaya 3, ang score niya, or 4, and so on and so forth hanggang 10. So, bawat score dyan, merong probability na 1/10. Okay? Lahat sila ay 1/10 kasi isa lang naman po ang pwedeng maging score ng student. Hindi siya pwedeng magkaroon ng dalawang score. Hindi siya pwedeng makakuha ng 3 or hindi rin naman pwedeng makakuha ng 7 at the same time. So, isa lang ang magiging score niya. Let us have the property of discrete probability distribution. Number 1. So, ang P of X daw niya dapat is equal to 1. So, 1 plus 1, that is 2, plus 1, that is 3, plus 1, that is 4, plus 1, that is 5, plus 1, that is 6, plus 1, that is 7, plus 1, that is 8, plus 1 is equal to 9, 9 plus 1, that is 10. So, 10/10, that is equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin, nasunod natin yung unang property ng discrete probability distribution. Sa pangalawang property naman, discrete probability distribution, dapat wala daw pong bababa kay 0. Ano nga ba yung bababa kay 0? Negative lang. So, dapat sa kanila, sa P of X natin, ay walang negative. Pangalawa, wala ding tataas kay 1. Walang pwedeng 1.1 pataas. So, yun pangalawang property natin for the discrete probability distribution. So, dito, nasunod niya lahat ang property, kaya siya ay valid discrete probability distribution. Example number 4. Find the values of random variable x if two balls are drawn in succession without replacement from a box containing 5 red balls and 7 blue balls. Let x be the random variable representing the blue balls. Make a discrete probability distribution. Sabi sa problem, meron daw sa isang karton, sa isang box na mayroong naglalaman ng 5 red balls at 7 blue balls. Ngayon, titingnan natin kung paano natin magagawa ng discrete probability distribution. Okay, tayo ay may pagkakataon na bumunot sa unang pagkakataon ng dalawang bola. Okay? So, sa pagkuha natin ng dalawang bola, pwedeng ang combination ay maging red at blue. Pwede rin namang maging possible outcomes ay red and red. Pwede rin namang maging blue and red. Pwede rin namang maging blue and blue. Ito po yung mga possible outcomes. At ito naman po yung random variable x na kung saan nakafocus lang kay blue ball. Okay? So, ang sample space natin ay 0, 1, and 2 lang. Okay. Let us have the discrete probability distribution. So, outcomes natin, blue balls ang bibigyan natin ng focus. Ito yung P of x natin or probability or the P of x. Ito yung mga sample space natin. Ngayon, ang zero natin, yung possible outcomes natin na wala tayong makuwang blue ay isa lang. So, isang possible outcomes ang maaring wala tayong makuwang blue, parehong red and red. So, 1 over 4. So, sa nakuha tong 4, yung random variable x natin 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, isang possible outcomes ang pwedeng wala tayong makuwang blue ball. So, that is 1 over 4. Next, ilan naman ang possible outcomes na pwede tayong makuha ng isang blue ball? So, ito siya. Red ball, red, blue, blue, red. So, dito meron tayong isa, dito meron tayong isa. So, dalawang beses or possible outcomes na may makuha tayong tag-isang blue ball. So, 1, 2. So, dito, ang isusulat natin sa P of x ay 2 over 4. Again, sa nakuha tong 4 na to na nasa denominator, yung random variable x natin, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, ilan naman ang possible outcomes na pwede tayong makakuha ng dalawang blue ball? Ito lang, isang possible outcomes ang pwede tayong makakuha ng dalawang blue balls. So that is 1 over 4. Valid ba siya yung ating discrete probability distribution? So, ang unang property ay kailangan the P of x is equal to 1. P of x is equal to 1. 1 plus 2, that is 3, plus 1, that is 4. 4 over 4, that is equal to 1. Ulitin ko, kapag ang numerator natin at denominator ay pareho, that is equal to 1. So, nasunod natin yung unang property. Pangalawang property, dapat daw yung P of x natin ay hindi siya bababa sa 0. Ano nga lang bang bumababa sa 0? Yung mga negative sign na numbers. At hindi rin dapat siya tataas sa 1.1 pataas. Dapat in between siya ng 0 at 1 lang. So these are all positive. So pasok na siya. Sa pangalawang property natin, dapat daw hindi rin siya lalampas sa 1. So 1 divided by 4, that is decimal point. So hindi siya lumampas kay 1. Ito rin, hindi rin siya lumampas kay 1. Ito ay 2 over 4, pwede siyang maging 1 half. Itong 1 over 4, hindi rin siya lumampas kay 1 at nasunod nila ang property or second property ng discrete probability distribution. So, nasunod niya ang dalawang discrete probability distribution, kaya siya ay valid discrete probability distribution. Now, let us exercise our mind. Okay, determine whether the following is a discrete probability distribution or not. Siyempre, meron tayong dalawang properties pa rin na sinusunod. Dapat ang P of x daw is equal to 1. Tapos yung P of x daw ay hindi dapat negative. Hindi siya dapat bababa kay 0 at hindi naman siya tataas kay 1. So, in between siya ng 0 at 1 lang. Dapat hindi siya negative at hindi rin siya tataas kay 1. Okay. So, we have the outcomes 4, 6, and 8. The P of x, 0.9, negative 0.3, 0.4. So, ano nga ba siya? Discrete probability distribution or not? Yes, it is not a discrete probability distribution because one of the P of X is negative 0.3. Ito po siya. Na-violate niya po yung property number 1 ng discrete probability distribution na dapat hindi ang P of X natin ay hindi negative at hindi siya lalampas kay 1 pataas. Okay? So nag-negative siya rito. So this is not a valid discrete probability distribution, or this is not a discrete probability distribution because of the negative 0.3 doon sa P of X. Okay, let us have this. Is it a discrete probability distribution or not? Exercise your mind. It is not discrete probability distribution because the P of X is not equal to 1. Yung P of X niya raw is not equal to 1. Let us see. 2 plus 4, that is 6. Plus 1, that is 7. So, ang mangyayari rito, 7 over 8. So, 7 over 8 is not equal to 1. So, na-violate niya yung unang property ng discrete probability distribution that P of X will always be equal to 1. 2 plus 4, that is 6, plus 1, that is 7. 7 over 8, that is not equal to 1. Although na positive siya lahat at less than siya sa 1, pero yung na-violate niya yung unang rule or unang property that the sum of all the probabilities should be equal to 1. 2 plus 4, that is 6, plus 1, that is 7. 7 over 8, that is not equal to 1. Okay, let us have this. Is it a discrete probability distribution or not? Exercise your mind. Yes, it is a discrete probability distribution because na-follow niya yung property number 1 and property number 2 ng discrete probability distribution na kung saan ang P of X daw is equal to 1 dapat. So 2 plus 8, that is 10, plus 1, that is 11, plus 2, that is 13, plus 3, that is 16, plus 1, that is 17. 17 divided by 17, that is equal to 1, or 17 over 17, that is equal to 1. At syempre, na-follow niya rin yung rule number 2 or the property number 2, which is yung P of X daw dapat hindi negative. So obviously, wala namang negative dito. Okay? At dapat daw ang P of X niya ay hindi tataas kay 1. Hindi pwedeng maging 1.1 pataas. So kapag dinivide natin yung 2 divided by 17, that is not equal to 1. That is less than 1. Ito ay less than 1. Ito ay less than 1. Ito ay less than 1 din. Ito ay less than 1. Ito ay less than 1. So, sila ay mga naka-decimal points. So, na-follow niya rin yung property number 2. So, this is a discrete probability distribution. I do hope that you've learned something from me. Thank you. Again, this is Maestro Bench. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button for notification. Bye-bye.